Hello, my name is Eric Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today I'll be talking about how does the jnani answer, why should I live? And for the jnani, from that point of perspective, it kind of comes down to, I don't know. For the jnani, doesn't need a reason to live. Because the very question, why should I live, is asking for some kind of reason, rationale, justification to continue living. And for the jnani, no such justification or reason is needed to continue living. It just isn't needed. The game is continuing to be played simply for the joy of it. And the game of life continues. Now, I think this question arises often because there are various spiritual experiences and glimpses that can happen. For example, there might be the insight or realization that life has no meaning, no purpose to life. And for the ego, this is very demotivating and very disheartening. For the adult ego, really wants a reason for doing almost anything. For adults, the mindset is you must have a reason to do things. And so when you find that life has no purpose, has no meaning, at that point I find a lot of people in the non-dual communities will ask the question, well, why do I keep living? Why should I live? And similar questions. And that's only because it's been partially seen. The truth has only been partially seen. And nothing is often as dangerous as a half-truth or partial seeing of truth. Because, there are people who are like, I just can't get off the couch. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't have a reason to do anything. And they're stuck because they're still operating from the egoic mind, in particular the adult egoic mind, in which you need a reason to do everything. And if you don't have a reason, you just don't feel like doing anything. But this is fundamentally a mind frame that has forgotten what play is. Because play is not something we do for a reason or purpose. If you ask a child, why do you play? You'll get a very confused look, or you might get the response, to have fun. But what is play? Then having fun. And so you have this circular, I'm having fun in order to have fun. And but play is done for its own sake, simply for the enjoyment of it and the joy of it. Play is not done for a reason. It's not done for a purpose. You're not trying to get something out of it. Play gets corrupted and turns into work quite quickly when you start trying to get something out of it. Work is very, very much the mindset of an adult, the adult mindset. Everything is work. Even life becomes work. And so as soon as you realize that life doesn't have a purpose, for example, there's no meaning, you're suddenly demotivated and you don't feel like doing anything. Because without this reason, you can't do anything. But life is play. You don't need a reason. You just play. You continue on. The same is in a lot of the arts. If you asked a painter, why do you paint? Well, they're not. They're probably not doing it for any particular reason. I play the drums, and if somebody goes, well, why do you play the drums? Because I enjoy it. Again, basically to have fun. So I'm having fun in order to have fun. And so I'm just beating on the drums, making interesting sounds and rhythms, simply because I can, because it's interesting, and there's a joy of it. I'm not trying to gain anything from it. I'm not trying to use it for something. There's no purpose in it. It's not like I have a grand design to turn it into a way to make money, or a way to further my status in society, or a way to increase myself in some way. Playing the drum has no gain in that way. It's just simply done because it's interesting, for the joy of it, to have fun. And all of life is like this. All of life is play, is done for really its own sake. It doesn't need a reason to continue. And so for a jnani, the question, why should I live, doesn't even arise. Why should I continue living? Doesn't arise. It's a moot point. You don't need a reason. In fact, more often than not, the very question of why in any context is entirely the wrong question. Because when you're asking why, you're asking for a rational, logical reason for whatever's going on. And more often than not, the most important things of life tend to just arise on its own accord. I mean, think about if you've got a significant other, the whole love and relationship, the whole falling in love. As soon as you're trying to get something out of it, there's a reason for why you're falling in love. It kind of corrupts it. There's really no reason behind it. In fact, if there's no attachment and dependency, there can be actually no reason for the relationship at all, and yet it can continue. Simply because of the joy of having that person around. Not because you're getting something from it. Doesn't that seem to feel like it kind of corrupts the idea of love? That you need to get something out of it in order for it to continue. And so the whole idea of why is trying to get a mental understanding of something, and it's trying to get rational reasons to do things. Justification. But life, like love, needs no justification. And so I don't know if this really helps. I would say if you're stuck in this area of not knowing, what to do because you don't feel like doing anything, I would suggest diving deeper into this idea of me, who and what you feel yourself and believe yourself to be, and is it true? Seeing through this illusion of me will help resolve the issue, because only the me, in particular the adult ego mindset, needs the rationale justification to do things. And so, the demotivating of, well, why do I continue, as if you need a reason, is a weird egoic reaction. But when the illusion of me is shattered, the egoic reaction isn't believed and is a moot point. But I guess that's all I wanted to talk about today. If you've got any questions, comments, please post below. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you're notified of future videos or comments in the Communities tab. But until next time, thank you much.